Okay. Next, we are going to cover what is a document parser or form recognizer, and how can we use document Azure Document Intelligence to parse the documents properly. So to get started with, let's understand the capabilities of Azure Document Intelligence first. So it can extract text, of course, but it is capable of doing a few more things as well. So if you see all of these, it can read invoices properly. So the entity extraction that I've previously mentioned, where you can extract the invoice number, invoice date, invoice name, invoice amount, all these different set of entities, you can extract them directly with form recognizer. Same thing goes for receipts as well. So let's say if you have a receipt, and if you want to get certain entities such as what is the actual cost and the tax and what is the final cost, all these different entities from the receipt can be extracted. Similarly, you have for contracts as well. This should be at the top. Financial statements. Yeah, similarly, you have for contracts and financial statements also. But the most powerful feature is handwritten text. So let's say if you are using a PDF document, which is a scanned copy with handwritten text, Azure Document Intelligence is the way to go. You cannot use PyPDF for those kind of things. PyPDF will treat the overall entire PDF as an image. PyPDF cannot handle images, so it will return you completely blank text. But let's say if you're using document intelligence, it is using proper OCR. And let me write this down in a whiteboard again. Yeah. So Azure Document Intelligence is using optical character recognition, or in short, we call it as OCR. So it is using OCR technology to properly read all of your documents. And because it is using OCR, whatever handwritten text you have, including if you take this whiteboard also as example, this font looks somewhat like it is handwritten. Of course, I can change it into proper text font also, like this. But let's say if I want to go with this one, I'll go with this. Yeah. So even if you're dealing with these kind of letters, alphabets, or these kind of handwritten font, you will still be able to read it with your document intelligence. Or if it is actually handwritten notes also, it will try to do a really good job at it. But if your handwriting is like really bad, like doctor's handwriting, if it is very hard to understand, then we cannot do anything. But if it is even slightly readable, then you can definitely expect some really good results from the document intelligence. Not only forms, not only handwritten digits, but also tables as well. So you don't have to rely on Camelot for extracting all the tables. Azure Document Intelligence will directly extract all the different tables and give them back to you as pandas data frames. So it's such a powerful feature, and it is built in directly into this. So these are some of the important capabilities of the form recognizer. Along with that, there are few other things that will give you even more advantages. The very first one is layout extraction, which is, let's say if I have this particular document, resume, and I'm using Azure Document Intelligence to parse everything. Yeah, to parse everything, I'm using this one. Now, here in the diagram, I've drawn these clear boxes saying that from this portion to this portion, it is candidate details. This portion to this portion, it is work experience. But in the actual resume, you won't have these kind of boxes, right? They'll put everything in one text, heading, subheading, text, bullet points, paragraphs, but they'll not draw these boxes. But when we are using Azure Document Intelligence, it will draw something called as bounding box. So whenever we are doing any OCR, this is what you call as a bounding box. For every single text that it is able to identify, it will have a unique tag, and it will draw a box indicating the portion from which this text was extracted. So if I take this one, if you see, there are n number of bounding boxes here. Don't look at the right one, but the left one has the actual bounding boxes. It should be a box, right? Yeah, you can see it here much more better way. So for every single line that it is extracting, it will give you the bounding box. It will give you the X coordinate, the Y coordinate from the very top. So if I have to take it for this invoice, from the top till this point, it is the Y distance. It will give you this Y. From the leftmost till this point, it is X distance. So it will give you X point. So you'll get X and Y. At the same time, you'll get the height and the width of it. Using height and width, you can calculate the remaining 3 points also. So this is one of the biggest advantage that you get with form recognizer. It will draw, you'll be able to extract text content, lines, paragraph, along with the bounding boxes and even checkboxes as well. So if it is a proper checkbox, for example, if I say to do, this is a checklist item, I'll go into export. I'll export this as a PDF. Then this will become an actual checklist item. And using Azure, I'll be able to, sorry, using the Azure Document Intelligence, I'll be able to check if this is marked or unmarked. So you can already see how powerful document intelligence can be. And as I've already explained before, it has pre-built models for different types of data. So if it is an invoice, it will extract all the invoice entities. If it is a receipt, it will extract all these different entities, payment mode, prices, and purchase items, and store names. Same thing for IDs and documents, and same thing for business cards as well. So these are the 4 different inbuilt modules. You can also train with custom modules. So let's say if you are going to work with particular set of modules continuously in your project. For example, you are dealing with some lab reports, and you'll always have 3 or 4 different entities instead of this lab reports that you want to use. In those situations, you can train a custom module using your own data. It is going to be completely secure. Okay, so you can train your data, you can mark those entities properly, and you will train your custom module. Moving forward, you can upload your document, and by default it will give you all those entities as key value pairs. So this is one of the most useful feature. And before we had LLM models, this was a very popular method for entity extraction. This was used for ATS scoring in resumes. This is used for named entity recognition. This is used for candidate pooling, many different situations. But nowadays, only LLMs are used for doing all those tasks. Table recognition, image handwritten, multi-language support as well. So document intelligence does support multi-language. So if your document is in a different language, you can still extract all the entities in that particular language, and it will give you the confidence score for each and every uh, not letter, but every line that it is able to read. It will give you the confidence score. So enough of this chit chat. Let's go ahead and start implementing it in Python code. To do that, we have to install form recognizer first. But even before doing that, we have to create a form recognizer in Azure portal. So let me go to portal.azure.com. I'll select my personal account. I'll search for document intelligences. Yep, you can create it like this. There is a free tier plan available. Let's create one more actually. I'll show you how you can create. You can create your resource group. You can give your region name, and in the pricing tier, East US. Let's go with Canada Central. You have free tier plan in Canada Central. You can review all the other things and then you can create it. For now, I'm not going to create a new one because I already have this. Once I go inside of this one, in the security monitoring automation. Yeah, in the resource management, in the keys and endpoints, you can see this is my endpoint. I can copy this one and I'll have to paste it here as my endpoint. And this is my key. I can copy this and I can paste it here and then I can start using the code. But for now, what I've done is in the very first lesson, I've explained you what is .env file, right? So I'm going to reuse the same thing. Let me put all of the necessary things into my .env file. This is my .env. Let me just paste it there. Just a second. Okay, I've already pasted it. This is the code to install it. I'm pretty sure I've got this also installed by default. Next, let's go ahead and read our environment variables. And I'm importing my libraries and I'm loading my environment variables. This is very simple and straightforward. Next, I'm going to connect to my document analysis client. So this is my form recognizer client where I'm passing my endpoint and I'm passing my key value. Both of these have been read from the .env file. After reading it, this is my invoice path. I'll open my invoice using the open built-in function. Then I'll pass this invoice as my document. Here I'm using pre-built read. Instead of read, I can also use table and business card and invoice and other things to read only those respective things. If I pass table, it will read all the tables and it will give it to me. If I pass pre-built hyphen business card, it will give me all the business card entities. It will, if I pass pre-built hyphen invoices, it will read all the invoice related information and it will send it back. But for now, let's go with pre-built read. I'll say document analyst client dot begin analyze my document. And this is the result. Let's run this. Okay, done. Now let's go ahead and print our results. So here you can see it was able to read everything. Now let's print it in a page by page format properly. So there are 3 pages, right? So document page, page number 1, and you have your width of that page, height of that page, unit in inches, and in lines. These are all the different lines that it was able to extract. So let's print only the lines. Let's take the last one and we'll print the lines in the last page. So these are all the lines that it has in the last page. Let's check them. It starts with Elementum. Let's go to third page. It starts with Elementum. There you go. So it was able to extract every single line from the document. And for each line, if you see, it has given me the X and the Y and all the other 4 points as well. Sorry, other 3 points as well. So using this, I can draw my bounding box. You're getting the bounding box for every single line if you observe here. Okay. Yeah. So each line, you can chunk each line and then you can put it as a chunk in your vector database. But the problem here is if you take a look at this one, this whole thing has only this 2 words. I cannot pass just 2 words as a separate chunk, right? It's taking up unnecessary space. uh, I'll be doing a lot of different steps. Plus, moreover, if this chunk is present in, if I don't have a proper chunk overlap, then I might even miss this information. So to avoid all these situations, what we do is we combine everything into one very long paragraph. Then we will do the chunking part. So this is how you can use Azure Document Intelligence. There are different pieces of code in this particular page that you can use to practice more on how to create the custom modules as well. But this is more or less about document intelligence. The only functionality that we're going to use here is pre-built read function, where it will read everything and give it back to us. So that was about document intelligence. In the next step, we are going to build a proper RAG backend. See you in the next video. Thank you.